for trespassing and resisting
it's not
arrest.
You guys got subpoenaed?
Yeah, for trespassing and resisting arrest
It's
is
a
what
type
it
of
said on
Mexican
mine.
dish. What the fuck?
How do I know if I'm in trouble or not?
You're
Like, is it
fucking
whatever?
crazy.
Or...
You're fucking cooked, man. I love it.
My two favorite terrorists are subpoenaed. I'm so happy today.
Right, guys. Mickey?
Yeah?
You have the floor, my friend.
Oh.
How do you say that? Shall we?
Wait, Mickey, cleanse us, please.
Like this?
Well, we had a few strategies going into today. I don't think we fully crossed them off just because we didn't get to fully test them out. Is number one.
Nah, I just somebody did a gen hack and and then we could do another attempt on something else. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think we still like tried and tested out a few other things. There's two things I want to. So as far as additional theories, there's something we haven't done, which is we thermite the 3 doors, we take out all of the generators, then we do the VAR hack, and then we do the magnets. Super basic one. So like we don't actually do the VAR until all the gens are out. Super basic one.
Hey, my brother.
Might be the most.
What's going on?
One. The second.
Hey, good. Hey, listen.
Really think about and do like another search.
I got a text telling me that I got subpoenaed, and I want to know what made you green like that.
That we should be checking out. That's number one.
So, subpoena, do you have it in front of you?
A weird thing to say, but
I mean, yeah, it's texting. I got subpoenaed. Yeah.
To be a generator and what we're doing with.
Well, no, I mean, did they send you a copy of it, or did you just get a notification that you were subpoenaed?
Notification.
Okay.
Says that the
so,
what that means and what.
Here's the information I got. I don't know.
Just give me the truth and just watch your words carefully.
Take
That's
a
all.
step back from it all.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to make sure that I go through everything. So, actually, wait. I need to check if it was sealed. Give me a second.
Hey, guys.
What is it?
Hey, Detective Jones from the Street Crimes Unit. This is notice of the subpoena Deuces to come.
Yeah, the rest of us got those too. Nothing, right?
I guess so.
Isn't this exactly what Mr. K talked us about?
Can I just delete my text?
No.
Oh yeah, we'll just delete.
Yeah, you just delete your contacts and it deletes the text. What?
Nah, no, I got the document.
No sealing. Okay. 1 second.
No, the phone records have a backup of it, and if they were subpoenaed, they have to save that backup.
So they have my text
so
on my phone?
No, they don't have the
first
text
off,
on your
phone subpoena is like the
this a
lowest
troll or
burden.
is that not a
Typically,
troll? I'm
is there an
confused.
investigative purpose, and does the minimal intrusion of the records
Yeah, bro.
match
Yeah, I
the
don't wanna talk
juxtaposition?
about it.
So,
Yeah,
for
no.
example,
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, all the specifics are kind of useless to me. I only know why it happened in the first place.
what do you mean?
What I mean is that the casino has thousands of visitors every day. I'm wondering why I specifically was subpoenaed and what made it happen.
I think we have to.
So
we can only
specifically,
fully cross off
you and the other 2 people who were arrested in the same incident report, Psych, Tony Corleone, and yourself,
There's a world where the
have been
generators are
arrested
like,
numerous times
hey,
together
maybe-
on robberies.
That's
maybe
that's actually incorrect. What?
what's
yeah,
that word?
you have
No,
been.
I asked the cops to tell me when I was arrested with these guys,
or male
and they said they
nipples.
couldn't find anything.
Vestigial?
That's just a lie.
They're
What?
they're not actually useful.
Vagina.
I mean, hold on. I can look up the instance. Give me a
Redundant is
second.
another word, I guess. Maybe the generators don't all have to be hit, but I think we're gonna assume for right now they all have to be hit successfully. We agree on that?
That's a good thought.
Yep, agreed on that.
I think I've been in a cells with Tony like once before.
I have another theory which might not be true, but it's this.
You guys had a
maybe I'm wrong, I
1099A
think we only
a
have
couple weeks
to
ago.
successfully hit the VAR
That's a-
hack
that's-
once.
You had
That's a
the
car.
throwing the grenades at
Yeah, I agree with
MRPD
that.
with you know.
I agree.
Which I was not guilty of.
Don't. Yeah, you were not guilty of the terrorism, but they didn't charge you with the criminal use of explosives.
And if you were to use
I don't think
this
there's a
against
single
me,
person who
if they were to use
disagrees
this
with
against
that.
or
Very
in a thing, they would have, but they didn't. So
What do you mean use it against you?
What? Now this has been used against
but
me.
like for a
but this is
normal
all
person, you know?
allegedly. It's not proven.
In a good way.
Yeah.
So why use it?
So,
Why using that
it's
against
not
me?
a-
Human means
Okay,
you
so it's
can
not
lie,
it's
like-
not
But here's the thing
about
it,
your
though.
guilt
Like,
in
we
that
don't know
matter.
anything about what the
Like
magnets do
for
right now, 'cause we
example,
haven't
What?
at trial, like
That is correct. So that it's north to magnets, south. massive
That's not
question.
how it
it's not
works.
about what
Generators
works.
must succeed.
So
Bar hack, one hack.
but it,
Magnets, giant.
okay.
question
So
mark. Doors.
basically,
question
being
mark.
guilty of something means that
You guys
did
tried
it.
the magnets
right?
in
You're
the
guilty.
generator room to see if you can try.
If I told you 20
okay.
stories about somebody, right? But they never
Yeah,
were
the
found
first
guilty of any
day,
of that.
we spam
Are you gonna use that
magnets
against
everywhere.
in a subpoena
Today,
against
I
them?
took the time to do that again as well. Check out every
I'm not
box
sure
I
what you
could,
mean.
and
So
it might be
when it comes
magnetable.
to the situations I'm talking about, you asked why was I connected to these people. Their statement is they believe you were, and they believe the subpoena can prove that. So the minimal intrusion of the phone records would prove that you guys
So
had
here's the theory
communicated.
that I had.
But it
So
didn't
because
because
the
I
two of
didn't text
them-
Tony.
What if you hit the first gen
Right?
and it's rerouting the power?
So it didn't.
I mean, I haven't analyzed. I don't know your phone numbers.
So
right?
basically,
the third gen, it goes to fourth gen, you hit the fourth gen, and it just blows out.
I
the
didn't
crate.
send any messages to either Tony or in that span of times, so they got nothing.
To do them at the same time.
Okay.
Either at the
Well,
same
that's a good thing then, right?
Or in pairs.
Yeah, but
Or
I don't think getting my all my privacy invaded for something you can't prove and you know you can't is something that the city should run on. This is just not. It's not something that citizens should be safe with, right?
For the record, it was only a 2-hour period or 3-hour
I
period
don't give
prior
a
to you
fuck.
getting arrested.
I don't give a fuck if it's 2 hours or
And-
3 years.
what if you have a
Well, but that matters. That's
It
that's
doesn't
part of the
matter.
scope.
You have privacy at all times. You should have privacy at certain times. What
Right.
is wrong
But,
with you?
so
Okay.
so the way that you balance a subpoena
message
is you look at the extent of the scope of the intrusion versus the public interest. And so a 3-hour intrusion of phone records is seen as relatively minimal compared to the scene that was being painted in terms of the potential, for the
And you
outstanding
can't
suspect.
see how
etc.
this trade-off could be used maliciously by the PD for various reasons or motives.
Just putting us back in step one, and maybe that
What do you mean
security
malicious?
door is the only thing that keeps unlocking.
So
because we are
if the
restarting
PD
back
fed
to
you
step
lies
one,
about what happened or what is happening, right, to get something out of you or to get you to sign something, and it kept doing that to get to somewhere that has no relation to the initial problem. You don't think that has a problem itself?
Are actually two next to each other.
So if I can prove or I get information that they lied about something in a subpoena, that would drastically reduce the credibility of that officer going forward. And
Okay.
anything they submitted in the future would be weighed very
So
differently.
we've been told this dozens of times before in court, where if they push a charge they can't push, they lose credibility. But that never happened, or they would get striked, and that never happened either. I think this is just
Well,
a
I
cop-out.
don't control strikes, but there
This
are
is
plenty of
cop-out.
officers that have lost credibility with me. I'll
And
tell you that right now.
okay, and if they don't go through you, they'll just get the subpoena to somebody else. How does that help the criminals? How does that help anybody? Or anybody doing something that could be considered a crime as is actually innocent?
So in this situation, I don't want to get into you talking about the circumstances, right? Because I don't want you to, go further into it. But in this situation, when you're arrested with the things you had on you,
Like what?
it,
That's what I
it
meant.
creates
I
a
mean,
problem.
what is it? What did they get caught on?
Say that again.
What did they get caught with?
So you had thermite, night vision goggles, a grappling hook,
So I'm doing lower vault then.
multiple phone dongles.
Yes, so I'm doing the lower vault then, right?
Right, so you're doing some kind of robbery, but there's also the problem of the police had information that there were potential robberies happening at the casino.
But I have written it down.
Potential robbery at the casino. Then there's robbery.
I think it's a valid idea.
So when they put together the explosion at the power plant, the eyewitness seeing a helicopter fly from the power plant to the casino and
Yeah.
land on the roof, and then they find you guys in a secure locked area that the owner has to let them into to even get there, and then you have items on you that are consistent with a robbery. Now, they already charged you with the trespassing, so like, even if they find anything,
robbery. Grenade or robbery. What the fuck is the correlation?
I don't know about a grenade, but the thermite, the phone dongles, the night vision goggles, the grappling hook, I mean, all those things are correlated with robberies based on the investigation.
Okay, so then the casino was robbed then. Fuck, man. I won't be able to gamble there anymore. Was it robbed?
I don't know.
Then how do you know
I'm
it's a
not an
robbery?
investigator.
Then how do you know it's a robbery?
Well, that's why you investigate with a subpoena to confirm your suspicions.
Right.
So subpoenas are based on reasonable suspicion, not probable cause.
So was it a robbery?
I don't know. I'm not an investigator. I didn't review anything.
Oh, okay. So nothing was proven then.
I
had
don't
to
know.
win.
You'd have to talk to the cops, but I don't know if they talk to you about it.
I had one from it.
Also, the primary stated purpose was to find the person they believe was the accomplice who blew up the power plant.
And they did find out, right? Because they got subpoenaed.
They believed that they would find communications that would lead them to that person.
So they found them, right?
I don't know.
So how many times, if they get subpoenaed wrong, if they get subpoenas wrong every single time, every day they get wrong subpoenas and they don't get the result that is intended to. Do they lose credibility, or do they lose rating? Do they lose rank?
I mean, I'll put it this way: the subpoenas that I've seen or I've signed,
Okay, I am under the
most of the time people get flat out convicted from it because people are really loose with their texts in this city.
Right. So we didn't. So they lost credibility there, right?
Well, so they made a mistake, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, a mistake. Fuck.
They
another
arrested you
mistake.
guys and charged you. They should have just held you on an investigative hold, and then they could have used whatever they might have found in a subpoena to charge you. But because they charged you with trespassing, they fucked up, and it's double jeopardy.
Right, but we still get subpoenaed though.
Right,
So
because
my
they were looking
thinking
for the
is
other
that
person.
if I ask my brother, who's a police officer, and I tell him, hey, bruh, catch any criminal with a lockpick, and you know what? They were attempting to do a robbery because lockpicks are involved with robberies. Everybody could get subpoenaed then, right? Right? Technically.
That's one. So you're
So
talking
you
about
could.
one variable.
Nice.
Well, you're
A
limiting it to
variable.
one variable when there's a number of them.
Technically, some people have lockpicks, and lockpicks they can be used for 99s, right? For 90s.
So you're
then they're robbing.
Mr. Paul, you're doing right now what's called spuriousness. You heard of that term?
No, that is no.
Okay, so it's a logical term that talks about correlations and causation. So, for example, you ever heard someone say all people drink water and all people eventually die, therefore drinking water causes death?
Yeah, that's like a philosophy introduction.
Yeah, it's like an improper conclusion, right? So if it was
Right.
just the lockpick, it would be an improper conclusion, which is what
Okay.
you're pointing out, and I agree with you. But
And-
when you put
okay.
everything together, that's where it comes.
No,
to.
no, no. I mean, let me use your example, man. You're almost there, brother. Finish your sentence. Then also, third mind for robberies. That means the casino was robbed. Oh shit, but it didn't.
No, that means the people could have been trying to rob it,
Or could have done it, but no robberies was proven.
or could have done it. Exactly.
So why was I subpoenaed?
Because I already told you they were trying to find a person who blew up the power plant.
But I thought this was a vote about. So is it a robbery or is it a power plant? What is it about?
Well, they think it's both.
Oh, both. So was it a robbery or was it an explosion? What was it?
They believe there was an explosion, and then when they got to the casino, they were given information that made them believe there was a robbery occurring.
Information. What kind of information?
That would be part of their investigation that I can't disclose.
Interesting. Seems like they have a lot of information that even people don't have. It's almost like they're creating things out of thin air or things that maybe they should know about.
I'm not gonna walk down that road with you, sir.
Yeah, let's not do that. Because otherwise it would make the police lose credibility. We don't want that in the city, right? The police is always right, right?
No, actually, I spent probably
See,
an
the
hour
problem-
and a half
see the
going
problem
over
that
the
I have?
subpoena
You want me-
and restricting everything yesterday. They were asking for 12 hours in bank records, and I went over every single piece of evidence and argument they had for about an hour and a half straight, and finally came down to only signing it for phone records for 3 hours because I thought their investigative purpose was merited.
And they found nothing.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't analyze the information.
So here's the main issue though. I think this sets a terrible precedent of the police doing what they always do, which is start with a conclusion and then work their way down instead of starting with the evidence and then work their way up. And I think you help power them up like that and you help propel that mentality, and you actively encourage this behavior, which is constantly fucking everybody over.
That is, in my opinion, the best story.
Look, if you think that I encourage bad behavior, warrants, and subpoenas, then you're just woefully misinformed. I literally spend probably hours every day talking to PD High Command and individuals about how things are going to be changed and there's going to be lockdowns on how they operate because they continue operating the way they are.
Okay.
I think you're barking up the wrong tree, and I think that's because you're not in those conversations, which I totally get, and that's fair. So I don't begrudge you for your opinion, but I'm just telling you that on this one, I don't think you have all the perspective.
Perspective is that they told me that I was gonna get a hot charge for a grenade when they were proven that grenades do not link the power plant. The grenade cannot blow the power plant. They can't.
Well, I don't know about that.
I know about that. Trust me, I know about that.
I think it might be associated with the generator that we already hit.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I just
and then the other.
Yeah, but no, I agree with you. That's why we're doing the diet terrorism charges to get rid of them threatening the terrorism.
No. That's the problem. If they know for a fact that the power plant cannot be blown up by the grenades, why am I tied to the power plant being blown up when I have a grenade on me?
They don't think you blew up the power plant. They think you were an accomplice of someone who did. That's why they're trying to find out who that person is.
So they found the person who blew up the power plant then, right?
That's what I think the point of the subpoena was.
And they can prove it. Does that mean that they lose credibility? Because then you get what they wanted?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't have the results of their investigation.
So in my perspective, I've seen that door over there.
What do you guys
doing other jobs that I've been caught for, that I've been found guilty, and they know about it. You need a lockpick, you know, to jam the way to the power plant. Use a normal lockpick. So every time that somebody has a lockpick, they could be tight. Basically, if there's an explosion at the power plant, anybody in the city with a lockpick, they could be subpoenaed for possibly blowing it up, right?
If someone is found at the power plant with a lockpick, could they be subpoenaed for blowing it up?
But I wasn't at the power plant. I was at the casino.
So you think
Sorry, I'm. Can you restate your question? I think two things got mixed
If
there.
they say grenade equals power plant, what I'm telling you, lockpick equals power plant. So technically, anybody when the power blows up, anybody with a lockpick, they're gonna get subpoenaed.
Where are you getting grenade equals power plant?
That's what they did. That's how they were gonna hut me.
Oh, who told you that?
Wrangler? He said grenade equals power plant.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's what he said. He said grenade equals power plant. Hot charge.
That's tough. I don't really follow that one.
What do you mean you don't follow?
Yeah, that one.
He did say that.
I don't. No. I'm not challenging whether he said it or not. I'm saying I'm trying to understand the statement "grenade equals power plant."
Because he said it.
I'm not understanding.
He said you were found with a grenade. So we think you blew the power plant with a grenade. So you're gonna investigate and hold for 24 hours.
Okay. He thinks. Got it. Okay.
All right, I was thinking about my cat.
You can collect like.
So you see now how what I'm trying to
residue on the ground of what the explosive was, right?
Yeah. But they didn't.
Yeah. So why would they say grenade?
Exactly. So like I said, from there they made a conclusion, right? And then they're working downwards to get evidence for that conclusion that they made in their heads that they shouldn't have in the first place, right? The one that is grenade explosion, and they're trying their best to feed you lies and dog shit through the documents to get there.
Oh,
and they didn't.
Oh, and you get.
And that's the problem we have here.
Yeah, that's interesting. Grenade equals power plant. But they never told me that a grenade was used to blow the power plant.
But why would they tell you though? Why would? Yeah, but nobody has C4.
I mean, I'm looking at a picture of C4 residue on the ground, Mr. Paul.
Okay, so an officer,
where did you see the
right, who knew that out of good faith, wouldn't charge anybody with that, or wouldn't threaten to charge anything with that, right? If they know that it's C4 and not a grenade, right? But that's not how Roleplay operates.
Right, not the generators.
Hold up.
It's trash cans. Those are trash cans that have the one.
I'll take it off.
No, Yeah, they're
Yeah,
elevated.
but he wasn't even the person I was working with.
Well, but of course he's not, because he pushes thing on the other people.
Okay.
Like I
got
said,
you.
yeah, he was working with other people. He had the intention. It was obvious from the beginning to start with a conclusion and work his way down, and that's what happened. Now we're the victim of this absolute dog shitstorm that's happening.
Yeah, I understand your perspective. I think, so here's the only thing I'll say, okay? I think it is a very tough thing, and I'm not sure how to solve it, but
Okay.
when you get subpoenaed or you get raided, right? Like, for example, I had the situation with Mariposa where she got an apartment raided, and this sort of misinformation spread around where the only thing she
how
knew
many generators are there?
was that like
Four, but there might be more
there was an
because-
ID of hers
but check
found
it
in a
out,
warehouse
check it
or
out. Four right
something.
now, right?
Oh yeah,
And
that
so
was funny.
It
That was
kind
funny.
of turned into.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, hold on. It kind of turned into this thing of like
Okay.
the perspective and the narrative became someone got raided over an ID, but
Okay. It's linked to the
in
first
reality, like
which means
the
hit the
context and
first
the amount of
generator,
detail and
right?
information
You have to hit the
in the
generator
statement of
to
probable
do
cause and the
security,
search warrants
Or is that a thermite?
is completely different from what
Okay, you would
gets
hit the first
sort of disseminated
generator
over the game of
to
telephone.
get into the security,
But then
right?
at the same
Oh,
time,
one person got
no
raided.
one
And
can
then
no one
Oh.
can
Under the
correct
hack,
your information
there's
because
just
we
four
can't
numbers,
give you the
four
search warrant
generators.
right away. So it's very hard. I don't know how to solve that.
That's interesting because what I heard from the streets is that they raided like 20 houses based off the one information. Any house that the person was linked to,
Rerouting
they went through
right?
all of them.
But then
No,
if
they
you
were
reroute the
locked
power
down,
with the magnet,
and that was
it's gonna
fixed.
go boom.
Man, they have the manpower to lock down 25 houses at the same time.
Second code, and then the
Of
second
innocent
code
owners.
What do you
at the
mean?
same time,
That's
so you
impressive.
Do the generator and the thing at the same
What do you mean,
time.
man?
I heard there was like 25 houses that were locked down at the same time.
There's four
Yeah, but you
generators,
see-
right?
Well, the first generator.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see
Yeah,
where you're
but you
getting
can
at.
hit
Well,
the generator after hitting it, right?
That's kind of nuts, isn't it?
how do I phrase this?
So you being part of this is
Do
kind
one
of, you know,
generator,
when I
and
say you
do it
encourage
again.
this shit.
How do I phrase this?
No, so I mean. what
So
is that?
okay, so in this city, right?
Not a bad idea, though,
If
Tony.
average amount of cops
So,
on
yeah, maybe
duty,
we
say
don't
in
have to do them
shift
at the same
2,
time,
right?
though.
If
Maybe we
there's
just follow
12 to
order.
15 cops,
maybe you just-
18, maybe 20 even. If there's
And-
a situation where there's like one raid going on and the person has 3 houses or 3 properties, let's say a warehouse and a house and an office, or there's 2 raids going on at the same
It seems
time.
like number dynamics only applies to cops these days. Only. Ever. You
do you
say,
mean?
oh, there's only this amount of cops. There's also this only amount of criminals and this amount of civilians. Like, what?
Yeah, but the point is, Mr. Paul, is that if cops physically stood outside of properties while waiting to raid them, the entire city would come to a standstill for like sometimes up to 2 hours with no police to do anything else but stand outside those properties.
Yeah, that's what the cost is of a PD. Doing a massive operation like a raid, it cuts on manpower. That is intended. That's how shit works. That's how life works. How is that my fucking problem?
Have to be
Well,
the
I
magnet.
don't make those decisions, and you know, it's kind of, you know,
Why does that become my fucking problem? You guys won't put people in front of doors. Instead, you have a lot of people have their houses that are the keys don't work in the fucking knob. Like what? 20 people
we all
with
use
the
our phones, don't we?
yeah, they use like the eye ring, the ring bell, doorbell ring app.
Yeah, everything's digital here.
Regardless, though, if initially the thing was just grenade equals explosion, which it was, the conclusion. It just,
To be clear, so that never got to me. I don't know what was said to you in the
Well, of
cells or what
course
was
it
threatened to
was.
you, but I never heard that from anyone. The only thing I heard
Then we do
was
the VAR
that there
hack just so
was
we
an
have the
explosive,
codes.
like a C4 or something, used to blow up the power plant. A witness saw a helicopter fly from the power plant explosion to the casino, land on the roof, and then when they went into the casino and they were let into the locked, secure areas by the owner, they found several people in there, and one of them, being yourself, had several items in his possession that are used in robberies. So from there was the investigation, other people that were found, as well as the idea of none of you having that like residue or
all
So
GS are
they-
negative, all of
out of
us.
4.
You know
Right.
what's
So
your
if
theory?
none of you threw the C4 and there's evidence of a C4 being thrown, and you guys are found in a locked area, the theory was that there was another person who must have thrown the C4.
That's it.
And potentially the phone records would reveal who that was.
Man, that's a lot of ifs in a row. Holy fuck, man. It's almost like they have the information ahead of time. They have the conclusion, and they're just working their way downwards to prove all the ifs. Because if this, if, then it's you. Yeah, of course. If they get all the ifs. But if you know what the ifs are, then what's the point?
So do you know what the standard is for a subpoena?
Find something new. Let's hit all 4 magnets.
The totality of the
here's what I'm
circumstances
thinking.
test. What it says is that it needs to be more likely than not of the suspected crime in the suspected property searched or record seized. So in this case, is it 51% versus 49%? In the 3 hours prior to you being arrested, that there might be information concerning the other suspect in those records.
Tell you what.
So it's 51-49.
The way they acted on that day was absolutely deplorable, and this is how we're gonna run things around here. Then that's just kind of how it's gonna be. But until this is fixed,
okay, so we can talk
you.
separately about the actions. I'm talking about just the factual review of the subpoena, right? Those are two different issues.
The actions,
I'm
not the
willing to
subpoena.
talk to you about the action.
Try that.
Either way, we still have to try the
What? So the actions. So you got thrown in a cell. They told you something about grenade equals power plant.
Yeah.
And then they threatened to hold you on terrorism.
Yep.
All right, I'll talk to Bass because that's not what I got.
Not
at
for
all.
terrorism.
Come on, Harry.
On
I'll
HUD.
be the
HUD
magnet man.
until trial.
Well, the only held until trial are murder 1, terrorism, and serial assaults and killings.
Or
You mean
investigated
a
hold,
24-hour
whatever.
hold, maybe?
Yeah, but even then, that's a far reach though.
For an investigative hold?
Yeah, like what do they use that time for?
Well,
You think
so
that the
if they had
magnets
put you on a
up
hold
top,
for like, let's
like,
just say
you
an
don't wanna
hour until
use
the
all
subpoena got
generators,
reviewed, or 2
because then
hours or
you'd be
whatever,
using all your chances.
then if they had find evidence of you being involved in blowing up the power plant, they could have charged you with that. Because they just arrested you and charged you for trespassing,
that means that,
they
like,
weren't able
that
to
must be
charge
the
you, so
starting
the
point.
only thing they
Then
could
you
have gotten out of
use
the
the
subpoena
bar to
was
get
the
the codes to
accomplice.
unlock other
But
doors.
otherwise, they would have been looking for evidence that
Unlike
you
the
were
other
part of
doors,
the
you
power
have to
plant
use the
being blown up.
magnets to spread the
Okay.
power.
But they messed up. So they would have, if they used the hold properly, which is where they put you in only for enough of the time to get the subpoena reviewed, then it might have been a legitimate purpose. But just to threaten to throw you in for 24 hours is asinine.
Okay.
I don't disagree with you there.
Last question then. Last question. If I were
sure,
to
go ahead.
see somebody blow up the power plant and him flying a heli, and he goes to the gallery, right? The workplace of the gallery, and I tell the police I saw him enter it after blowing up the power plant. I saw the whole thing happen, right? They will raid the whole place down and look at every box, every corner, every crease, and look at every stash inside and charge everybody inside with anything that probably related to a robbery, right?
See what that does.
That will
So
happen.
if the owner lets them in, because that's what happened in the casino situation,
No, the generators and the magnets are
then the
fundamentally
question
linked.
is,
Let 'em in.
if they find people in there,
Power and
They busted down all the doors. They're using death
I
cords
think
and
both
shit.
those theories are valid. We need to test both.
from my understanding,
Come
the
up with all
secured
the ways of
areas
testing
that
both.
well, not your, but the 2 people were found in, that was they were let in there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
So if the circumstances mirrored this one, I think a subpoena for phone records, if they allege that none of them had GSR, and a witness had seen the power plant being blown up and the
Hey, you
helicopter
wanna-
lands on the roof,
you want a
then
better one?
maybe a subpoena would be warranted.
Hey, since you're a judge, I want you to explore an option. When we're at the casino, I heard a
the
Mr.
C4,
K
yeah,
there
3 C4s
with a
and
little
3
backpack
tracks,
on his
right?
back. Is he like a policeman?
So let's do my idea.
yeah,
Let's do
he's a
Buddha's
detective
idea. Let's
now.
do Ray's
Oh, okay,
idea.
because I've seen the chain gang messing up with they were at the fucking casino talking about blowing shit up the other day. So why is there a guy working at the,
that.
why is there a guy working at the PD, right? Actively working for the PD while his friends are blowing up the place. I don't get that. It doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna pee in a bottle right here.
To my knowledge, he's been working against them recently.
Right. And a couple hours later, his boys blow up the thing, and they, they're talking about doing this, doing that. So I was on the radio. I could hear him the whole time.
I mean, shit, you should talk to Wrangler. He'd love that.
I think the PD already knows. They just don't give a fuck.
To do like a quick scan
I think
the
you'd be
casino.
surprised how little the
deck
PD
that we have in the
communicates.
slide deck, I've marked
I think
some
if
doors of
you
interest.
gave that
Maybe we should
information
check
to
up on the
certain people,
rooftop
I
now that
think
we
they'd
know
be
that the
highly interested
rooftop's
and
in
they'd
play.
probably act
Look
on
for
it.
interesting doors around.
Yeah, interesting how the.
I mean, you know Wrangler.
Interesting that
He'd
you
love
guys
to
always
do
say
that.
you connect dots, and people, the PD always says that they're smart and they do things the right way. If they can't connect that the guy who's the first that to break the vault is also the guy who works at the PD who's the first inside the casino doors. Interesting. It's quite the coincidence
That
there.
is interesting, actually.
Interesting that nobody can
Fellowship
fuse
of the
one and one
Mass.
together. Interesting.
On a
I
journey
think
to
Bundy is
Mordor.
probably Bundy and Wrangler are your
shall
best bets. Those two
pass.
look into anybody.
Good night. Good
Bundy,
luck.
Night, Harry,
I
love
believe in
you.
all of you.
the head
See
of
you
the
tomorrow.
detectives
Thank
unit,
you.
Wait to hear
he's
about it.
above Mr.
Hey
K.
Harry, we hanging out later tonight or
He'll
what?
look into
Text me his
anybody.
number.